everything, you know. It's hopeless. For God's sake, can't you be quiet even for a moment? I never gave up. I just wanted to get out of here. Don't you play games with me. You can count yourself lucky I'm tied up. What a stroke of luck. You turned up just at the right moment, lad.
What are you doing here?
Well, nothing much. I was standing around when someone decided to tie a tree to me. It's awful. Jesus Christ be praised.
Forever and ever?
Would you be so kind?
Sure. Why not?
It's lucky you happened to pass by when you did, lad. I hate to think what beasts might be lurking in that forest. I'm, watching your back, friend. You can count on that. Give it to them, the beasts. It's not easy to talk my hands back. Could you please untie me? Oh, thank you, lad. I'd like to embrace you now that I finally can.
That's all right.
What do they call you?
Henry of Scallis. And you are?
Magister Voiticus ex Aridus. A pleasure to meet you, Henry.
It's a pleasure.
For me too, friend. More and more so.
And what exactly were you doing tied to the tree, Voity?
Why don't you just call me Voiter? It'll save us both a lot of time. Well, the thing with the tree is a bit complicated. How can I explain? First of all, you should probably know that I'm a painter. And apart from a few unpleasant moments recently, I spend most of my time over there, at the castle.
And you were looking for inspiration by the tree, or what?
Of course not. I ended up there partly because of my own curiosity, and partly, because of the rash nature of others.
All right. So what exactly happened to you? And try to make it clear.
They nearly shot me, then beat me up, and finally tied me to a tree. That's what happened.
And who actually did this to you?
Wolves in sheep's clothing, lad. There were two of them. At first glance, they looked like decent fellows, just wandering the land. But as you can see, I misjudged them badly.
You've had particularly bad luck with wolves today, eh? You know what? Tell me the whole story nicely from the beginning.
Actually, this whole day got off to a bad start. I went for a walk to Slatigo. The scenery there is lovely, and I needed to clear my head a bit. But imagine, an arrow almost hit me. These two fellows had set up an archery range among the trees, but they somehow failed to notice they were next to the road. By way of apology, they invited me over, gave me a bit of wine to calm my nerves, and one of them offered to play dice. But he seemed to win suspiciously often, if you get what I mean.
He was a cheat, eh?
I noticed he was secretly turning the dice. And naturally, I got angry. But instead of apologizing, he started shouting at me. And his mate whacked me over the head with a stick. And then I woke up here.
Well, you're pretty lucky you survived at all.
Luck had nothing to do with it. It's all thanks to you, my friend.
Ah, don't mention it. I was happy to help you.
Really? Then maybe you could help me one more time. It certainly wouldn't be for free.
And what exactly am I supposed to help you with?
Leaving me here for the wolves apparently wasn't enough for those two. They robbed me as well. Just look around.
Can you even tell if something's missing in this mess?
Yes, my dice, and especially my set of brushes. I could live without the dice, but I can't paint with chicken feathers.
All right. I'll make damn sure those two give everything back.
Thank you so much. But if I may ask, try to persuade them by words, not by the sword.
And you're defending them? Fellas who robbed you and left you to the wolves?
But that doesn't mean I have to behave the same way, does it? There are already too many killers in this land. We don't need another.
By the way, what were you actually doing with that skull? It almost looked like you were talking to it.
Well, sometimes I just do that to sort out my thoughts. Better than talking to myself, don't you think?
There might be something to that. Just recently, I was talking to a ram.
I hope you were only talking. The skull is simply something like my personal muse. It notices things I can't see, then tells me about them so I can paint them.
Tells you? You don't mean that literally, do you?
Well, even things without a voice can speak to you, my friend.
So what is your name then? Voita, or that Voity something?
Well, that depends on who I'm talking to and where. But for you, I'm simply Voita. Nothing else is worth mentioning or appropriate to say.
All right then. I'll go and look around for your thieves.
Thank you. I'll head back to the castle for now and think of a way to repay you for all of this. You'll find me in the loft, in the tower called the Crone. But first, I'll tidy up here a bit and, most importantly, finally have a sit-down. You know, I was standing tied to that tree for quite a while, and these legs of mine aren't the youngest anymore.
Quick! Quick! Whoa!
told you, I'm fine.
You think I can't tell when you're lying?
You'll be all right, really. At least that lunatic is gone. And that, thing of his, too.
Don't worry. We'll get out of here soon, and you'll never see it.
Watch out, someone's here.
Who are you then?
Clovis. They call me Four-Leaf Clovis on account of my luck. Why do you ask?
Who is this mate of yours?
That's Ura, but folk call him Hawkeye.
Ah, right. Because he's good with a bow, eh?
Exactly. Try a hand against him if you want, but you'll likely walk away a few groschen lighter.
How do you and Ura know each other?
I play dice, he shoots arrows, so we stick together. Every village has someone who tries their luck against us, but most of them leave a few groschen poorer. So, unless you're planning on losing some coin too, don't hang around here too long.
Do you remember the painter, Voiter? I'm here for his things.
What? I don't know no Voiter, let alone no painter.
Really? I found him tied to a tree under Trotsky. He said you took his brushes. And some dice?
That's a nice story, but I'm telling you, I ain't got no idea what you're talking about.
If I were you, I'd remember quickly. Right now, Voiter is willing to let it slide. But if I come back empty-handed, he might want to handle it the hard way.
All right, all right. Clearly that blow to the head wasn't enough of a warning for him. But if I was you, I'd give that loudmouth a few more knocks. It won't hurt him now.
Where are the painter's things?
We divvied them up. I was in need of some new dice. Ura wanted the skull, but I talked him into taking the brushes instead. And a good thing too. I never want to see that grinning monstrosity again.
Can I take those dice?
Hang on! Just like that? Do you even know what I had to do to get them?
Whack someone over the head with a stick?
Exactly. So, what will you give me for them?
How about we play for them? Dice acquired by unfair means only bring bad luck anyway. But you probably know that best of all.
All right, fine. At least I know you won't cheat. We each play with our own dice, and the winner takes the unlucky ones.
I'll check how much... Here are my groschen.
Show me. I hope Lady Luck will be on my side. Here. These ones here. Damn it! They're yours, lad. I hope I'll throw higher. You must have a lucky... By thunder! If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I'd say there's some devilry at play.
No devilry here. Just a sign that you should hand over those dice to me. Maybe then your luck will come back.
Here you go. May the painter choke on them.
Greetings, my friend.
I'm here for those brushes you stole.
What brushes?
Now, don't bother denying it. Clovis has already spilled everything.
Oh, and he was the one telling me to keep my mouth shut. Said we'd be rid of that madman.
Why did you beat up Voita like that?
Well, it was mostly Clovis, although I nearly hit him with an arrow first.
I heard that part already. What happened next?
Well, we brought him here, but then he started saying all this strange shit. He had a skull with him, like a real human skull. He wouldn't let go of it. And I honestly couldn't tell if he was talking to us or to it. So I asked him what he was up to. And he says this skull sees things he can't see and tells him stuff.
What exactly did the skull reveal to him?
Like, it said I looked like some captain from Colleen who sired a lot of bastards. So I might be his son. And it's true I'm from Colleen, and I never knew my pa. Only the captain's brother, he said, is hunting down those bastards and killing them so they can't claim any inheritance rights.
And you believed him?
It was really convincing, I'm telling you. When that fella talked about all them murders, I felt like the Grim Reaper was breathing down my neck. He would have told me more. But then Clovis hit him with that stick, because he saw how shaken I was. And you know the rest.
Well, that's quite the tale, but you could have kept it to yourself. Voita told me what really happened. You played dice with him, and when he caught you cheating, you beat him up and robbed him.
Horse shit, I'm telling you, it's all that bloke's fault. Not a bloke, more like some kind of warlock.
Clovis said you have the painter's brushes. Will you give them back?
Look, I'd love to, but how can I put it? This whole thing stinks. How do I even know you really know the painter? Maybe you're just here to rob us of what we honestly
stole?
Doesn't matter anymore. The brushes are mine, and that's that.
Look, you've already run into Voita once, and you're still clearly shitting yourself from it. And now imagine what he'll do when I tell him you won't return his stuff.
If he cries into his pillow over them brushes at night, I'm sorry. But I'm just not handing them over to you that easily.
What use would paintbrushes even be to the likes of you? You just like to show off with that bow, don't you? And then secretly scribble lewd pictures?
Fine. Let's settle it with a shooting match. I'll wager the brushes, you put up a nice pile of groschen, and the winner takes all.
I'll check if I have enough coin. All right, here you go. Let's do this.
See you later, my friend.
Now!
Oh shit, I'm not hitting a thing. I can't even piss straight today. Too bad my old woman ain't seeing this. Watch and learn. I can't even piss straight today. Well, I'll be. You beat me. But I admit it was a fine win. Here you go. The brushes are yours.
God bless. Good day.
I apologize.
My word. This is a nice workshop. I've never seen one quite like it.
It's very modest. But if you're interested in the craft, feel free to look around. Just be careful not to get paint on yourself, or tread on a cat's tail.
Why not? I'd be happy to look around. I've got the stuff they stole from you.
You must have been sent by God himself. Thank you.
It's nothing. But tell me this. What kind of trick were you playing on me? I asked those two what happened, and they said it was you who started the argument.
Me?
They said you suddenly started acting really strange. What actually happened?
Nothing. If I did anything odd, it was only after they hit me on the head.
Are you sure? Those two seem pretty shaken up.
And I nearly got eaten by wolves and have a lump on my head. Can we agree it's my word against theirs?
You didn't provoke them? I talked to both of them for quite a while, and they both said the same thing. If they were lying, I'd know.
Fine. I didn't tell you the whole truth. Even before I almost became a practice target, I wasn't in the best frame of mind. Maybe I started telling them something their empty heads couldn't understand, and they took it out on me. But can we finally stop going into this over and over? Tell me, how did things end with those two? Did you settle things peacefully?
Yes. Both of them are alive and well.
I'm glad to hear that. Thanks again for your help. And don't think I'm going to express my gratitude only in words. I promised you a reward, and you'll get it. Here, take these dice of mine. They've brought me nothing but trouble. And to be honest, I wanted them back just so I could give them to you. And not just them. You know what? I'll paint something on your shield. Judging by the look of you, that could be a very useful reward.
What do you mean?
You may have the face of a village lad, but you're a warrior. Even my painted skull can see that. And it's got no eyes.
That's a really nice reward. Thank you.
If you want, we can get started right away. What do you say?
Can you paint a shield for me?
By all means. What shield is it to be? Let's get to it. It turned out well, didn't it?
I'm curious what you'll paint on that shield. What can I choose from?
Whatever you like that my paints and skills suffice for. First, then we'll do... And to finish, watch out, though. And if it turns out you don't like it, we can always stop.
Why are you painting here in Trotsky, of all places?
Because I can. An artist goes where the work is. They don't get to choose. One day you're decorating a cathedral, the next you're illustrating letters.
I thought monks in monasteries did that kind of work.
And you'd be right. Well, mostly. A monk will illustrate a book for you, but nobles and clerks are more interested in letters and contracts. Every year they have stacks of them written, and they all have to be nicely decorated.
How much do they pay you here?
Not enough, friend. Definitely not enough to make up for all the trouble this job gives me.
It's intricate work, isn't it? I saw a workshop in a monastery once where monks copied and illustrated books, and they didn't look too happy doing it.
And they don't even create anything themselves. They just follow patterns. But someone like me has to think 3 times about where the first stroke of the brush will go before even starting. In short, you need a subject, and it's out there somewhere.
I don't know. Your little walks don't usually end well. Can't you just paint here? Nice and quiet.
Of course, I could sit on my arse and paint only what the lords tell me to. But I work differently than other painters. I've got much higher ambitions.
Do you still need help with something?
Do you feel like you haven't done enough yet?
Well, I'm more afraid to leave you on your own. Who knows what tree you'd end up tied to this time?
Who'd have thought my fairy godmother would be so manly? Tell me, Henry, do you believe in signs?
I would say so. I believe in them.
So do I. And I think that the fact you found me and saved me was no coincidence. We were meant to meet.
Why do you think so?
Call it vanity if you want, but I've spent my whole life yearning to create something truly great and meaningful. Something that would remain after I'm gone, so that even 100 years from now, people would know that someone named Voiter lived here.
I don't know. I don't know many painters by name.
No? What about Master Theodoric of Prague? Or Giotto of Florence? And surely you've heard of the works of the Parlour Workshop.
Well, all of those are more like exceptions, aren't they?
And that's exactly what I want to change. Believe me, one truly exceptional painting would be enough to make me one of the greats. And here in the Trotsky region, they say there's a place that could serve as my inspiration. Unfortunately, no one really remembers where it is, but you have already proven yourself to be quite skilled at finding lost things. Maybe that's why fate brought us together, to help me with my life's work.
It really doesn't just sound like a coincidence. What kind of place are you looking for?
Well, I hope you won't think I'm a heretic, but I'm curious what people believed in before they'd heard the word of the Lord. What did they think would happen after death? And where did they worship their idols? And they say that such a place can still be found in this region, a shrine where the pagan god Velez was worshipped in ancient times. Have you heard of him?
Unfortunately not. Our parish priest in the village only ever talked about one god. The true one.
Velez is said to be the ruler of the underworld and protector of cattle. He looks like an ordinary man, but he's got horns on his head, so people sometimes mistake him for the devil. So, what do you say? Will you help me find his shrine?
Why are you interested in things like this? You're not you know.
A pagan? A madman? Or perhaps the devil himself? Who knows?
Very droll. All right, I'll help you. What do you need me to do?
Go to Vidlak Pond, north of Takov, and talk to the old woman who lives there. You'll find the place easily. They tan hides there, so you'll smell it from miles away. The woman's name is Kvietoslava. She should know something about the shrine.
Are you sure the old woman knows anything about the shrine or Veles?
Absolutely. I've walked around Vidlak myself. There's a place on the hill above the pond that's called the Witch's Grove. I thought I'd find the shrine there, but unfortunately not. No horned head. So I asked the fishermen and tanners down below and found this Kvietoslava. But getting anything out of her is no easy task.
Didn't she want to talk to you?
Well, she wanted to, sure. But her memory isn't what it used to be. First, she mistook me for her husband. Then her grandmother. Then she tried to feed me garlic soup. And finally, sent me off into some swamp.